Hi guys, this is Pallavi, that Desi girl, and I'm here with my Ask Me Anything today. Now we asked you a question on Instagram, asking you to ask any question that you can think of, and unsurprisingly most of the comments that poured in were questions about hair. So initially we were going to just reply on the comments and connect with you right there, but since so many of you asked so many amazing questions, we decided to do a video instead. Now this would also be here for future reference and for others who may have similar questions. So two of the most important questions and the most asked questions were how to grow long hair and how to deal with hair fall. Now I'm gonna club these two right now because a lot of it is connected. So growing hair is a very precise science. Now if you want to grow long hair, of course you want to avoid hair fall, because if your hair falls and a new hair even starts growing from the follicle, it's going to take that many more years to actually grow long. So hair fall, long hair, both are very closely related to what you're putting inside your body. Now of course it's important to take care of your hair from the outside, wash it just enough but not too much to strip your scalp of natural oils, keep it clean and healthy and not damaged, but at the same time what you're putting inside you is what is actually going to reflect on the outside as well. So for a lot of Indians are vegetarians, like including me, and that kind of limits the proteins we eat. So I'm not a nutritionist, but these are the general things that I have been taught by a lot of people, including nutritionists. And so you got to include some protein in your diet every single day. How I like to do it is I would include a dal or tofu every single day. Some of it has to go in. Different mixed nuts also really help. Now there are seasons, like in summers, I do not really feel like eating nuts. In that case, I'll eat some flax seeds or I'll eat some sunflower seeds, which are a great source for omega fatty 3 acids, and it really helps. Now if you're having a lot of hair fall, I'd suggest the first thing you should do is go and get blood test done, because if your thyroid is wonky, if your iron hemoglobin is low, you would have hair fall. Or if you have just got up from a sickness, you would have hair fall. Hair and your nails and your skin are the first thing on which adverse effects of your health are seen. It's a good thing to get your blood test done every 6 months, because it is a great indicator for if there is something wrong on the inside, it would show on the outside as well. So if you keep on getting it tested, you'd be sure that there's nothing wrong. For example, a lot of women have iron deficiency, and for me, I ended up having vitamin D deficiency. I hate going out in sun. I get sun allergies. My skin just breaks out really badly. So as a result, I just don't go out in sun. So even though I was drinking milk, having milk products, the vitamin D was not being absorbed. Now that can easily be treated, but you should not take medicines without your doctor's consultation. Now I remember a few of you asked in direct messages about sugar bear or other supplements, and see, I'm not against taking multivitamins, because our diets are just not enough anymore, because we're not eating well. We are eating so much junk, we're not eating on time, our nutrition levels are low. But I would never suggest you to go and just take over-the-counter multivitamins and have them, because you might just not need them, and you don't know which vitamins do you need. So yeah, there are some water-soluble vitamins which won't harm your body, which would just pass through your body. There are reports which say that they do put undue pressure on your kidneys, but they're not substantiated enough yet, so I wouldn't make that claim. However, oil-soluble vitamins just accumulate in your body. So if you feel like you have any deficiencies, go get tested, check it out with the doctor, and then have something. Now about sugar bear hair, it does have about 500 times the biotin that is required by your body for everyday allowance, and yes, the entire Kardashian clan and everybody is promoting it. It might be good, but do you really need all of that biotin? I'm not sure. Now one thing about biotin is if you're having a lot of it and you're not balancing it with enough vitamin D, then your skin is gonna break out. So if you've started having biotin but you're having breakouts, please stop. That's not a good idea. Back to how to deal with hair fall. If you have hard water at home, if the salt content is a little too high, which is the case in a lot of areas in Delhi, including where I live, take some water which is RO purified and use it for final rinse. If you can, I'd suggest use RO purified water for washing your hair and skin. It does do wonders. But yes, it is a lot of work as well, because you cannot make it go through your shower. Now, there are some filters that you can attach in a tap if you do not mind having a bucket bath. Then it works perfectly. Just the idea is to make sure that you're only washing yourself, your hair, your skin with pure water. Another thing, of course, is nutrition. I've told you about keeping hair clean. Now, you don't need to wash them every single day, because if you do that, you risk stripping off your scalp of all natural oils. And the trouble that happens is, so you're stripping off the oil and your hair your follicles decide to produce more oil to compensate for that, which ends up making it more oily and greasy and just completely destroys the balance. Now, how often do you need to actually wash your hair? That's something only you can answer. So when I'm living at my parents' house, or when I'm living in a smaller city, I don't mind washing my hair say twice a week, because my hair just doesn't tend to get as greasy and dirty. In Delhi, I have to wash it every other day. That's just how things are. There's pollution, there's a build-up on the scalp, you need to clean it out, and works like that. So you'd have to decide what sort of lifestyle are you leading. How you can test it out is, if your scalp feels greasy, if there's a layer on it, and if you feel like there is some particulate matter on top of it, wash it off. And also try not to really comb your wet hair, because that causes breakage and that causes more hair fall. Don't rub them vigorously to dry them. Just wrap them up in an old t-shirt and let them sit for a while. When the water is absorbed, then just let them down. Comb them with your fingers like this, and then after they have dried up, or they have almost dried up, that's when you use a comb, which is, you should start with a white toothed comb. Start from the bottom so that the knots are not bunched up in a place that would cause more breakage. If you can avoid breakage, and if you can keep check of your nutrition, most of your hair fall would be gone. That's at least how it has been with me. Now, talking about how to grow hair from the same old follicles, a lot of it is genes. Every hair has its own lifespan, and it grows in 4 different phases, and then in the last phase it just falls off. Now, your race is against that cycle, because if your hair can stay on your head for longer than when it is supposed to fall, then it would of course grow long enough too. In every month, everyone's hair grows about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. My hair grows faster than that, about 1 to 1.5 inch in a month. But the point is that, say your hair has grown till your waist, but then it's time for it to fall off and new hair to grow again. You won't be able to grow your hair longer than that. Now, that is something that you can control with good nutrition and Ayurvedic treatments. Like, for example, I trust Kamini Auntie a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard me talking about her, at least on Snapchat and on Twitter, or even on Instagram. I've mentioned her. She's basically an Ayurvedic doctor who operates out of Delhi. She makes her own hair oil, and I really do not know what the combination is, because that's a secret. Her bottles do not have any ingredient list on it. So when you walk into her clinic, she would look at your hair and she would suggest a set of products for you. And so for me, I've been using this particular hair oil. If you can see, there are some herbs inside it, and the oil is sunflower seed oil mixed with some other things. Yeah, it is with herbal leaves and seeds, and this removes dandruff very, very effectively. This also covers up bald patches. So this she also gives you another ginger paste which you're supposed to apply on your head. Like, they tell you how to do it. You only get their products at their own stores, and yes, these bottles are a little expensive compared to other hair oil available outside, but they go for a long way. So this really, really works for me. But not to say that this is the only oil you can use. There are other oils that I'll suggest to you in a while, because I only go back to this oil when I have really damaged my hair. And over the past few months, we had been traveling like crazy, and I didn't take care of my hair as I should have. and but this has been now helping me. I go back to her, try to go back to her every week. I can actually see new hair growing right here. Tiny baby hairs are coming up, which is very encouraging. If any of you have those problems, I'm going to link up her information right here down here, so you can ring her up, tell her, yeah, I have sent you, and she goes strictly by reference, so you can totally tell her that I have sent you and it would work out. So but this is for Delhi only. Another hair oil that I really love, which I unfortunately don't have a bottle of right now, is Ayurvedic, which is an egg oil. It's made with canola oil and they have added the cholesterol from the egg. Don't ask me how, I do not know the science behind it. It does have a little eggy smell, but that could also be because I'm very sensitive to eggs. I don't eat them. So it could be a psychological effect, because my husband, who does eat eggs, did not feel that it smelled like eggs. And the whole point is that I've applied egg on my hair like once in my lifetime, and I tell you, it was the most horrid time of my life, because I was still in school and I used to sing in the choir. So I was standing up on the stage, and I kid you not, the entire choir moved away from me because of the smell of the egg, which was just not washed off. Ayurvedic oil does not give you anything like that. Now Ayurvedic oil is also pretty expensive. Ayurvedic oil really does nourish your hair well as well. So if you're not against eggs, I'd suggest looking that up. That's available on websites and they do home delivery, so that would be much more convenient. Now about other oils that you can use, just don't use any mineral oil. Not that mineral oil is bad for your hair. There are a lot of movements going on which just say, okay, one is no poo movement, which is don't use a shampoo. I don't believe in that, because my hair gets greasy and very unmanageable if I don't shampoo my hair. And the other movement is no mineral oil. Okay, mineral oil is obtained from petroleum processes. You know, when you're distilling petroleum, one component that comes out is mineral oil. And yes, popular oils that I had been using ended up having over 70% of mineral oil. And no, they didn't harm my hair at all. They did nourish them, hopefully. But the problem is that, I mean, if I'm going to apply some oil on my head, I would much rather have it all from vegetable origin. I would not want to pay a lot for mineral oil and apply that on my head, because I believe that does nothing for me really. Another one that I like is Rogan Badam Shireen, which is like, if you can eat it, if you can put it in your body, you can easily put it on your hair, unless you're allergic to it. In rare cases, there are allergies, so if you have any adverse effects, just stop. Otherwise, Rogan Badam Shireen, I think it is Hamdard's or even Dabur has a variant. Both of them are really good. I can scoop them, you know, in a spoon and drink them up, or add them in my milk and drink them, and also apply them on my hair, on my skin, anywhere. Works like a wonder. Now another oil that I like is Kama Ayurved's Bringraj oil. I keep it in little vials and take it with me while traveling, because that's the easiest to apply. It just gets absorbed like that. Now if I want to make my hair less frizzy and make them more smoother and manageable, instead of the serums that are everywhere, I like to take 2-3 drops of that, mix it with a little water and just rub it on my hair. It leaves them feeling very fresh and fragrant, and well, works for me. If you'd like to know about which serums I use, just drop a comment down below and I'll answer that. Those were not on the question list, so not going to that right now. Let's move on to the next question. Does trimming or cutting help in hair growth? Now I know that a lot of people tell us that if you don't trim your hair, they're not gonna grow. It's got nothing to do with it, guys, because your hair does not grow from the bottom, it grows from the top. But where trimming does help is, your hair on the bottom can get split ends. If you get split ends, they would ride up your hair, which would make your hair break halfway through, which would reduce the length overall. So what you need to do is, you need to keep the split ends cut. That's about it. Otherwise, cutting is not going to do anything. Now all your hair are not always going to grow at the same length, so the ends end up looking a little ratty at times. So if you want them to look healthier, more fuller, then you need to cut them all straight. Otherwise, no, cutting your hair or trimming is not going to help your hair grow at all. How to deal with dandruff? Well, oil your hair regularly, use an anti-dandruff shampoo. There is no other way to do it, but anti-dandruff shampoos are pretty harsh on chemicals, so I'll suggest that switch them up, right? Like you use anti-dandruff shampoo once a week, your hair is clean, and then you use some other shampoo. You can go back to anti-dandruff shampoo later. Now there's one hair mask that I use that really helps in nourishment as well as dealing with fungal infections or dandruff. Just take a bowl of dahi, good old dahi made with full cream milk, add a spoonful of honey in it and add a lemon juice in it, and whisk it all together, apply it on your hair, let it be there for an hour, and then just wash it off with lukewarm water. That gives you great hair. How to add volume to hair? Unfortunately, if your hair is naturally thin, there's pretty little that you can do except for using methods that would help more newer hair grow out from the follicles itself. Now for me, Kamini Aunty works, but there are some other ways to do it as well. I'll get back to it in a later video. But how to add volume? Just ensure that your haircut is such that it makes your hair look fuller. Like if you have too many layers, then your hair can, look like it's much more fuller. It's all just a game of illusion, honestly, and that's how you can help it. If you want more volume while you're making buns and stuff, you can use hair socks or hair buns, and you could just use a sock and roll it up and use it as a base, as a hair donut, and that really works wonders. If I have left any questions, please drop me a comment, I'll get back to you. In the meanwhile, I know there are a few questions which are not about hair that I have not responded to, so I'm gonna get back to you on comments. If any of these tips helped you, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. We'll be waiting for you as always.